What does he get from Archway is a sense of being, fitting in, the group here. His support system has been the biggest part of his life. And this is where Archway filled a big void.
We were sitting around one Sunday afternoon and got a call from the police and asked us to come and pick Jack up. He had been caught smoking some marijuana with his friends. And January came along, it was about 4 months later, and I remember we were at my daughter's birthday party at a restaurant and he had a meltdown. I think there was a suicide attempt, his first suicide attempt shortly thereafter. Then I guess the worst night of my life occurred shortly after that, where a second suicide attempt occurred, and it was a very, very sad night for all of us. There was a lot of screaming involved, police, him screaming at me that he hated my guts, just about as bad as things could get.
When the drug use came about and I caught him, I started really digging into his life and his friends and everything. And it's like amazing. A lot of parents say, their kids don't want him in their life. Trust me, it was like he was crying for help.
Growing up, it was like my way to stay distracted and my way to avoid any type of realness was my behavior.
Yeah, my alcoholism, I drank regularly on occasions, mostly holidays, but then when I was 13, it kind of kicked in after my sister, Savannah, ran away.
I got into drugs and everything in my life just kind of went downhill.
It didn't take long for my addiction to just kind of kick in, and I was immediately getting high every day. After 2 years I'd been kicked out of my house. I was living in a house with a friend that let me just do whatever I wanted, and that just consisted of me buying and selling ecstasy and just being a shady person, stealing.
By the time I was 15 and a sophomore in high school, I'd been hospitalized 8 different times due to drug overdoses and alcohol poisoning, and had already been to 5 different high schools, and kept making the same phone calls to my mom that the police had picked me up.
Yeah, I've had experiences in public school and private school, and the major difference, the first difference anyone will tell you is the class sizes. At Archway, we actually know the students. They're not numbers. We know their families, we know their kind of histories, their personal stories, and that just does not happen at a school of 3,000 or 3,500.
Like I say, from his previous school, I never got any feedback from his previous school. I never knew anything was going on. I know when Spirit Day is going on, I need this, I need a new hat, we having hat day, we having crazy this day. I'm getting so much feedback from this school that I never got in the past.
I imagine it must be really hard to deal with a bunch of kids who've never really been into school. It's just super cool to see the patience they have with us.
Definitely, I never really had a good relationship with my principals. It's just I have a whole different view on higher authority based on the staff at Archway and my APG, because there's a certain level of understanding and respect that I never got in public school.
Just couldn't have a stable environment where I could really spiritually grow. I remember how desperately I wanted to get into Archway and how miserable I was, because I couldn't really reach out and tell people how I was really feeling. And the check-ins in the morning at Archway kind of helped me attach myself to people in a weird school environment, which is kind of nice.
The peer group that I'm in, it's their goal is not to keep us sober, their goal is to teach us how to live life sober.
We don't want to make the questions on an easier level, basic remember response type. We want to make them more where they are analyzing and evaluating, which is causing them to bring in their higher order thinking skills, more critical thinking.
The academics are the same, but the fact that it's another family is what I love about being here.
I come here every day wanting to learn and wanting to grow. And I think the biggest change is that I'm able to ask for help. I trust the staff here enough to tell them when I'm struggling, to tell them when I need extra support, extra help.
We don't worry about the externals. But with their attitudes, I think we're a lot more strict, or we hold them a lot more accountable than that. So in other words, the outside to us, that matters to some school, it doesn't matter to Archway, but the inside does.
So it's like we're talking about college, and it's like, oh my God, okay. And so now he's focusing, he's looking toward the future.
The lessons they learn here are truly life lessons that they'll be able to take with them and be successful wherever they go.
When I got in last year, I didn't have a job. I didn't have that much responsibility as going to meetings and staying sober today and coming to school, where this year it's I've jumped into a lot of responsibility where I'm hosting people and I have a job and I'm growing up, and it's I definitely know that I can stay sober.
Archway has given me the tools to know that I'm capable of going to a 4-year college, that I'm capable of passing classes, and that's something I never thought I would say. For so long I wanted to do absolutely nothing with my life.
I want to be a wilderness guide. I love the wilderness and I love the outdoors. The staff's just really interested in what I want to do and always asking me how they can help, and if I need a resume, or printing out the application to the school that I want to go to, and kind of helping me look at the financial end of it. And it's really good because I don't have that type of interaction with my family.
And actually get to look at myself and kind of be a teenager. I get to live instead of just exist, and get to actually have options and opportunities and grasp them.
So today my relationship with Jack is phenomenal. We go on trips together, we spend time together, we sit and talk the way we've never done before. At least 2 or 3 times a day, we give each other hugs and tell each other that we love each other. I can trust him now. Last weekend we left him at home to take care of the dogs while we were out of town at a wedding. Again, these are things that I just couldn't even conceive could be possible just 3 short years ago.